दुखों में रोएंगे, मिलकर सुखों में मुस्कुराएंगे। मेरे जोड़े हुए पैसे भले न काम आए, पर मेरे जोड़े हुए रिश्ते तो मेरे काम आएंगे। तो मैं आप सबसे ये दरख्वास्त करता हूँ, उम्मीद करता हूँ कि अपने जीवन में रिश्ते भी कमाइए। जेके डागर हमारे बीच में बैठे हैं, उद्यमी हैं, बहुत बड़े पद पर हैं। अब इस वक्त तो मैं बता ही सकता हूँ, जेके ग्रुप के अंदर प्रेसिडेंट हैं। लेकिन आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, एक कुछ लोगों को सड़क पर रास्ता नहीं मिला, उनके गांव से निकलती हुई हाईवे पर उन्होंने, अपने गांव के लोगों ने जो विरोध किया, तो गांव के लोग धूप में बैठे थे। मैं आपको इंसान यहाँ जो बैठे हैं उनके बारे में कुछ बोल रहा हूँ। आप यकीन नहीं करेंगे, लगभग 2.5 बरस तक वो लोग हाईवे पर बैठे रहे और 2.5 बरस तक उनको रोजाना खाने की बात थी। किसान सब देहात के लोग थे। एक अकेला आदमी बैठा है जिसने 15,000 गांव के बच्चों को रोजगार दिया। सर एक बार खड़े हो जाओ अपने स्थान पर। 15,000 लोगों को और 2.5 बरस तक रोजाना खाना पहुंचाया वो जो किसान बैठे हुए थे। तो ये बहुत बड़ा सम्मान है। इसके लिए अभी आपको दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट के कार्यक्रम में ऑनरेबल 7 जस्टिस ने एक साथ सम्मानित किया। मेरे लिए, मैं था उसका साक्षी था, मेरे लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है वो। और छोटे से गांव से चलकर हमारे रामगोपाल शर्मा यहाँ बैठे हैं, उन्होंने एक बड़ा विद्यालय बनाया और बहुत सारे बच्चों को, कोई एक भी पैसा वहां से इन्होंने प्रण कर रखा है कि मैं इस विद्यालय से कुछ नहीं कमाऊंगा। तो शर्मा जी आपको भी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देना चाहता हूँ। नीरज चावला हमारे दोस्त बैठे हैं, RWA के प्रेसिडेंट सेक्टर फरीदाबाद 15 के, सबसे बड़ा सेक्टर है हमारा। लेकिन नीरज भाई, आपने जो काम किया है, जब मैं ये देखता हूं कि लगभग 500 गरीब बच्चियों की शादी कराने का निर्णय जो आपके संकल्प का एक मुख्य बिंदु है, मैं बहुत खुशी महसूस करता हूं कि एक इतना बड़ा उद्यमी जिसके पास में दुनिया के लिए समय नहीं हो, ऐसे में भी वो गरीबों के लिए काम करता है। तो मैं इस मंच से सबके सामने हाथ जोड़कर आपको प्रणाम करता हूं, बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। राजेश गर्ग सर, बेबाक अपनी न्याय के लिए लोकप्रिय रहे राजेश गर्ग साहब, जहां जहां भी रहे। और आज तो मैं सर बोल सकता हूं, क्योंकि अब आप रिटायरमेंट हैं, कुछ फैसले ऐसे थे जिनके बारे में कहा जाता था कि ये नहीं होगा, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। और आप समझ लीजिए कि चेयरमैन बार कितना बड़ा, स्टेट का कितना बड़ा था, लेकिन सर ने जब अपना फैसला दिया तो वो दुनिया ने देखा। सर आज इस मंच से सैल्यूट करता हूं। युवा एडवोकेट्स को प्रेरणा मिलेगी। जोरदार तालियां दीजिए तमाम लोग जितने यहाँ बैठे हैं, दिल की गहराइयों से। सर वाकई बहुत बड़ी बात थी। और हमारे बीच हमारे एक मित्र बैठे हैं, श्री डॉक्टर आदित्य अग्रवाल सर। कहाँ है आदित्य जी? हाँ, आदित्य जी सामने बैठे हैं। इन्होंने, ये बहुत बड़े भवन निर्माता हैं, CEO हैं अपने सत्यम ग्रुप के, लेकिन इन्होंने कमाल का काम किया। इन्होंने 40 एकड़ में ग्रेटर नोएडा में एक यमुना एक्सप्रेसवे के निकट 40 एकड़ में केवल एक सोसाइटी ऐसी बनाने का संकल्प लिया है जिसमें केवल लॉयर्स और जजेस साहिबान रहेंगे। ये बहुत बड़ी बात है सर, ये बहुत अच्छा फैसला दिया है सर। एक कवि को भी प्लॉट दे देना या फ्लैट दे देना। हाँ सर, जरूर दे देना सर, मैं हमेशा ऐसे ही बोलता रहता हूँ। हाँ, लेकिन एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ सर कि जीकर दिखा बगैर मेरे इस जहान में, कहकर वो मुझको छोड़ गया इम्तिहान में। आगोश में जमीन की आना है एक दिन, बेशक बसा लो बस्तियां तुम आसमान में। ये मेरा ही शेर था, लेकिन उसके बाद में सोसाइटी वालों ने बुलाना बंद कर दिया, बोले तो। हाँ, लेकिन जिंदगी का सफर है, इसमें दूसरों के काम आना चाहिए सर। हमारे बहुत बड़े कवि हुए थे राजेंद्र राजन, उन्होंने कभी कहा था, महफिल तो गैर की हो पर बात हो हमारी, इंसानियत जहां में औकात हो हमारी, दुनिया बनाने वाले कुछ ऐसी जिंदगी दे, आंसू तो गैर के हो पर आंख हो हमारी। तो ये सब चीजें हैं। अरे आगे डॉक्टर साहब, डॉक्टर राजीव त्यागी, आज इनके यहाँ ये सबसे बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी है पूरे, शायद उत्तर प्रदेश में इतना बड़ा, शायद पूरे उत्तर भारत में इतना बड़ा कोई संस्थान नहीं है। 2,500 बेड। मैं इसलिए कहना चाहता हूँ, कोविड के दिनों में जब किसी को कहीं जगह नहीं मिलती थी, मेरे पास कॉल आती थी कि साहब कोविड में एक बेड दिला दीजिए। आप यकीन नहीं करेंगे, यहाँ डॉक्टर राजीव त्यागी बैठे हैं, अनगिनत उनकी फहरिस्त, अनगिनत काम है। एक बार तालियां दे दीजिए, कितने सेवा की है, कितने प्रकल्प किए हैं। और आज भी उत्तर प्रदेश के शायद 5,000 पुलिस कर्मियों को आपके यहाँ विद्यालय में आमंत्रित किया गया, ये बड़े गौरव की बात है। उसका कार्यक्रम छोड़कर आप आए। महामहिम राष्ट्रपति, गवर्नर साहब, ये सभी लोग इनके यहाँ निरंतर जाते रहते हैं। और मुझे लगता है शायद 3,000 से ज्यादा बच्चों को हर वर्ष निःशुल्क शिक्षा देते हैं। और मुझे पता चला कि अभी 1500 MD और MS की सीट्स हैं, जो 200 भी नहीं मिलती कहीं, तो आपके संस्थान में इतनी है सर। तो बहुत बड़ा काम कर रहे हैं राजीव सर। और हम जब कभी उधर से निकलते हैं तो आपका आतिथ्य हमें हमेशा मिलता है। इतना खूबसूरत इंसान, मेरी सारी कविताएं कंठस्थ हैं उन्हें, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। मैं देशभक्ति की कविताएं भी करता हूँ, प्रेम की भी करता हूँ। आज मैं सामाजिक रूप से प्रतिबद्ध हूँ यहाँ कहने के लिए, वरना राजनीतिक कविताएं नहीं सुनाई। मंच पर हम कैसी भी सुनाते हो, लेकिन यहाँ अच्छे दानिश्वर लोग बैठे हैं, विद्वान लोग बैठे हैं, और देश के कर्णधार वर्तमान भी बैठे हैं और भविष्य के बड़े लोग बैठे हैं। जिस जिस पद पर आप उम्मीद करते हैं पहुंचेंगे, वहां पर अपने साथ और अपनों के साथ में और सामने वाले के साथ में इंसाफ कर सकें हम, यही हमारे जीवन की सार्थकता है। तो बहुत बहुत सभी का सम्मान हम करते हैं। एक मेरे मित्र हैं डॉक्टर गौरव कुमार सिंह, 1 या 2 मिनट में पहुंचने वाले हैं। कलेक्टर हैं रायपुर के, 2012 में उन्होंने यूपीएससी में क्लियर किया, और बड़ी बात है कि हिंदी मीडियम से आज तक सर्वाधिक अंक लेने वाले वो है, बस 1 मिनट में पहुंचने वाले हैं। तो ये बड़ी बात है, गांव का बच्चा चलकर आया, और उन्होंने जब तक वो कलेक्टर नहीं गए ट्रेनिंग पे, उन्होंने अपने साथ जो बहुत अच्छा पढ़ने वाले देहात के बच्चे थे उनको प्रेरित किया, और मुझे जहां तक मेरी जानकारी है 40 से ज्यादा बच्चे यूपीएससी क्लियर कर गए जिनको उन्होंने सहायता की। तो बहुत बड़ा एक इंसान के लिए संकल्प है, और आज महामहिम राष्ट्रपति ने उन्हें सम्मानित किया है जन संरक्षणा के लिए आज इस देश में, और अब से 3 महीने पहले प्रधानमंत्री माननीय प्रधानमंत्री महोदय ने उन्हें सम्मानित किया। बस्तर के कलेक्टर रहे, अभी रायपुर में हैं, बहुत दंतेवाड़ा कलेक्टर रहे, मैं तो दंतेवाड़ा जाकर देख आया जहां आप सोच भी नहीं सकते, निकलना भी मुहाल हो, ऐसे में बड़े बड़े उन ऐसे लोगों के बीच में जाकर काम करना, तो ये किसी युवा के लिए बड़ा मौका था। आज बस 1 या 2 मिनट में पहुंचने वाले हैं, तो ऐसे सब लोगों का हम हृदय की गहराइयों से धन्यवाद करते हैं। बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं जिनका नाम अपरिचित है हम लोग, लेकिन सभी विद्वजन बैठे हैं, हम सभी का सम्मान करते हैं इस मंच से। युवा एडवोकेट विकास वर्मा को एक बार तालियां दे दीजिए, शुभकामनाएं दे दीजिए, बहुत मेहनत की उन साथियों ने इनके, और खास तौर पर ये छोटा सा बच्चा, मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा था, बाद में पता चला ये लॉ कर चुके हैं, तो ये बहुत अच्छी बात है बेटा, ऐसे बच्चे आए भविष्य में, इस देश को बहुत जरूरत है अच्छे एडवोकेट्स की, अच्छे जजेस की। तो आप लोग अपने फील्ड में निकलें, एक्सेलेंस हासिल करें, और अपने ज्ञान से इस दुनिया को अपने हिस्से का अंधेरा छांटने का काम जरूर करें, यही मेरी अपील है आप सबसे। मैं चाहता हूं कि 2 शब्द, समय है तो डॉक्टर राजीव त्यागी 2 मिनट आइए, इस सभागार में बहुत बड़े लोग बैठे हैं, 2 शब्द जरूर कहिएगा, एक बार तालियां दे दीजिए, शानदार वक्ता है वो। आइए सर, जो भी आप कहना चाहते, कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं आप दिल्ली में आकर सर? आइए सर, आइए सर, आइए।
अति सम्मानित मंच और इस सभागार में जिस भूमिका में आप सब लोग देश की न्याय प्रणाली के संरक्षक बैठे हुए हैं, मैं बेहद अभिभूत हूँ। दिनेश भैया का दिल की गहराइयों से आभार। मेरे यहाँ आज मिशन शक्ति यूपी पुलिस का पहला पूरे प्रदेश स्तर का कार्यक्रम था। डीजीपी साहब डायरेक्टली उसमें वीसी से जुड़े हुए थे, और एडीजी जोन, बहुत सारे आईजी अलग अलग जोन के, डीआईजी साहब सब आए थे। भैया का आदेश हुआ कि नहीं आना है, तो मैं यहाँ आया। मैं बस छोटा सा ये बताना चाहूँगा कि ये उत्तर प्रदेश में हमारी संस्था है, गजरोला एक जगह पड़ती है मुरादाबाद के पास। हमारा दूसरा कैंपस मेरठ में भी है, और एक अरुणाचल प्रदेश में पहली देश की ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी बनी थी प्राइवेट के अंदर, वेंकटेश्वर ओपन विश्वविद्यालय के नाम से। बहुत सारा जिस जो आपका फील्ड है उसमें भी इंटीग्रेटेड लॉ और 5 ईयर वाला LLB, LLM, एग्जीक्यूटिव LLM 1 ईयर और 2 ईयर, और लॉ में PhD की भी डिग्री है। अभी तक लगभग 1 लाख प्लस एल्यूमिनाई वहाँ से अपने संस्थान से हैं, बहुत सारे है। तो मैं बेहद अभिभूत हूँ। ये तो भैया ने थोड़ा ज़्यादा तारीफ कर दी। बेसिक हम हेल्थ सेक्टर से जुड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन IT, मैनेजमेंट, पैरामेडिकल, लॉ, सारे विभागों की सेवाएं दे रहे हैं। भैया का लगातार आशीर्वाद बना रहता है। मैं कहता हूँ, हम एक आप में से बहुत सारे लोग रिसर्चर भी हैं, कानूनविद हैं सारे, ये अपने आप में एक चलती फिरती यूनिवर्सिटी है। एक रिसर्च इनके ऊपर भी होनी चाहिए, डॉक्टर दिनेश रघुवंशी के ऊपर भी एक रिसर्च होनी चाहिए, मेरा मानना है, बहुत जरूरी है। बहुत बहुत आभार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मुझे लग रहा है कि गैर समाज आ गए, और मैं सभी को आमंत्रित करूंगा, आप जैसे प्रबुद्ध जनों को, कि एक बार टूर लेकर विश्वविद्यालय आए, और हमारे लॉ डिपार्टमेंट का भी आप जो भ्रमण करें। बहुत बहुत आभार। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
धन्यवाद राजीव सर, आप दोनों साथ एडजस्ट थोड़ा सा कंप्लीट कर लीजिए बस। इसी दरमियान गौरव सर आ गए हमारे, डॉक्टर गौरव कुमार सिंह। मैं गौरव, यदि कोई प्रोटोकॉल ना हो तो नहीं चाहता हूँ युवा वकील बैठे हैं, एक बात प्लीज 2 शब्द आकर कह दीजिए। बतौर दंतेवाड़ा कलेक्टर, बतौर रायपुर कलेक्टर, आजकल आपने जो अभूतपूर्व काम किया, हिंदी मीडियम से यूपीएससी में टॉप करना, देखिए एक तो तालियां थोड़ी बढ़ाइएगा। आज तक सर्वाधिक अंक किसी के आए तो इनके हैं, तो तालियां कमजोर है आपकी। आज एक तो राष्ट्रपति, महामहिम राष्ट्रपति ने सम्मानित किया उनको, और इससे पहले प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किया। ईमानदारी से बहुत बड़ा काम किया। भैया 2 शब्द जरूर कहना अच्छा लगेगा, बहुत ही बड़े लोग बैठे हैं सामने। आइए।
आज के इस बहुत ही गरिमामयी कार्यक्रम में सम्मानित मंच, दिनेश जी, पूरे देश की न्याय व्यवस्था की रीढ़ सामने बैठे हुए लोग, मुझे लगता है कि आप सब में सबसे कम अनुभव के साथ मैं यहाँ खड़ा हूँ। हमारी व्यवस्था में हर व्यक्ति की अपनी भूमिका है। किसी भूमिका में हम काम कर रहे हैं, किसी भूमिका में आप काम कर रहे हैं। देश की व्यवस्था तभी अच्छी चलती है कि जब हर अंग, हर भूमिका अपना अपना निर्वहन अच्छे से करे। हम लोग कई बार जब रास्ते से भटकते हैं तो आप लोगों के माध्यम से रास्ते पर लाने का काम भी होता है। लेकिन मेरा मानना है, चूंकि मुझे कहा गया है कि कुछ युवा बैठे हैं और 2 मिनट में मुझे कुछ आपके सामने अपनी बात कहनी है।
Good evening, everyone. We'll begin with the lamp lighting ceremony. May I request the dignitaries to kindly come and start the session on a spiritual note. Haruki Murakami once said, "If you only read the books that everyone else is reading, you can only think what everyone else is thinking." In an age where artificial intelligence silently shapes what we read, what we see, and sometimes even how we think, these words become profoundly relevant. In the Indian constitutional landscape, artificial intelligence has slowly started penetrating, which might in turn changes the discourse of history ahead. Article 21's guarantee of life and personal liberty includes the right to privacy, decisional autonomy, and information self-determination as affirmed in the landmark Puttaswamy case. When AI systems, often opaque, unregulated, and heavily data-driven, begin to curate our choices or predict our behavior without meaningful oversight, they risk infringing our foundational rights. The future of AI in India, therefore, is not merely a technological debate, but a constitutional one. Our challenge is to harness AI's immense potential while ensuring it does not erode democratic values, human dignity, or constitutional morality. Thus, technology must amplify human freedom, not replace or compromise it. Today's session on artificial intelligence and constitutional morality, organized by All India Lawyers Forum, is a collective step towards understanding how India can maintain this delicate balance. And thus, in continuation, we are honored to have a panel of unmatched stature. Namaste and a very good evening to one and all present here. My name is Pragya Parijat Singh and I am an advocate on record by profession, your Manch Sanchalika and moderator for the day. May I now call upon, as we commence, may I request the Director of Indian Law Institute, Senior Professor Dr. V.K. Ahuja sir, to deliver the welcome address. May I request Vikas Verma sir and Vinod Kumar Goyal sir, Chairman and Co-Chairman AIF, to present bouquet to the dignitaries present on the dais. May I call upon Ms. Yogmaya ma'am to felicitate Attorney General of India sir and Mr. Durgesh Gupta from All India Lawyers Forum. Thank you. As we commence, may I request Director of Indian Law Institute, Senior Professor Dr. V.K. Ahuja, sir, to deliver the welcome address.
First of all, my apology to all of them who are standing. In fact, the hall is packed like anything. It's the double of the capacity, that we have the audience. So my apology, I cannot help it. Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal, Justice Supreme Court of India, London Attorney General Shri R. Venkatramani ji, Shri Vinod Kumar Goyal ji, Shri Vikas Kumar Verma ji, Shri Dinesh Raghuvanshi ji, my friend whom I call as Cybermind, Mr. Pawan Duggal, respected faculty members, our senior official Dr. A.K. Verma, who was coordinating this particular program with Vikas ji, but unfortunately standing, not having a seat today. Advocates, guests, participants, students, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. It was more than a couple of months back that we conceived of having this program on the occasion of Constitution Day. However, due to the non-availability of our guest on 26th of November, we had to prepone this program for today. Friends, as it has been already introduced, the theme is artificial intelligence and its constitutional validity. Okay, it has been modified, seems, yeah. It's very contemporary and pertinent. Now, as we know that AI has become a part and parcel of our daily life, there is absolutely no sector which remained untouched with AI. I read artificial intelligence from the perspective of intellectual property rights. Others may read it from the perspective of constitutional law or human rights law or good governance. Mr. Pawan Duggal may read it from the perspective of cyber law. Some may read it from the perspective of criminal law, so on and so forth. It's an honor and privilege to host Honorable Lordship Justice Rajesh Bindal ji. It is the first visit of Lordship to ILI after I assumed the position of Director last year. I'm very excited and I really feel privileged and proud to have you among us, Lordship. On behalf of organizers, I welcome Lordship and look forward to hear the words of wisdom of Lordship on this very contemporary subject matter, which gave us enormous opportunity, but at the same time had put forward significant challenges. I also welcome London Attorney General Shri R. Venkatramani ji. London AG is deeply associated with the governance of Indian Law Institute. He is also an honorable member of our governing council. We had been troubling Lordship of the London AG, for various things. We go, we seek his legal opinion, we get our documents vetted, we consume lot of coffee, pakode, Tirupati laddus and sweets, and ultimately we do not pay any fee. So to us he is more than a host than a guest, because this ILI is his own institution only. So welcome you, sir. I also welcome my friend Shri Pawan Duggal ji. I was not aware that he is going to join us, but it is really pleasant to see you. I also welcome our special guest Shri Dinesh Raghuvanshi ji. I am told that he is one of the wonderful poets that we have, and you might have enjoyed his poetry also. So I also welcome, I cannot welcome the host because we are already hosting this. I also welcome all of you who have come from very far off places to become a part of this momentous program. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. We are deeply privileged to have this session presided over by Senior Professor Dr. V.K. Ahuja, whose scholarly leadership has shaped and inspired generations of legal minds. May I now call upon Mr. Vikas Verma, Advocate on Record and Co-Chairman AILF, to set the stage in action. Thank you.
Good evening, very good evening to all of you. I will not take so much time because Lordship has very interesting time. And firstly, I would like to thank and welcome to Lordship Justice Rajesh Bindal ji, Judge Supreme Court of India, who is very humble, polite, and very intellect judge of our country, and have very vast experience in the field of law. I would like to thank Mr. R. Venkatamani sir, who is Attorney General of India, who serves the country through the field of law. Mr. Pawan Duggal, who is the cyber law expert of our country and is very soft spoken, but legally is very sound. In India, there is no substitute of the Pawan Duggal. Mr. Dinesh Raghuvanshi ji, who is the motivational speaker and the national poet, who have the great contribution in the field of social justice. And he have the great contribution in the field of Kala Sahitya. May I regard to the chairman of All India Lawyers Forum, Mr. Vinod Kumar Goyal ji, and General Secretary Durgesh Kumar Gupta, Advocate on Record Supreme Court, Madam Yog Maya ji, ex-executive member SCBA, and all other lawyers, and Pragya Parijat Singh, Advocate on Record and executive member the SCORA. Especially, I welcome to the Bar Bulletin, Law and Justice, Pro Vakil, SSC Online, are our the knowledge partner. Welcome to the Delhi University faculty, Manav Rachna, and welcome to the Vinay Goyal ji, Manor Punyani ji, Neeraj Chawla ji, Tulsi Garg ji, Parveen Agarwal ji, Sanjeev Agarwal ji, Rajiv Tyagi ji, Ram Gopal ji, Senior Advocate R.P. Verma Advocate ji, B.S. Dagar ji, Raj Khatana ji, and Dr. Vinod Verma, Chairman Aditya Birla Group, and Ankit Gupta ji. Friends, we need to understand the topic of importance of the artificial intelligence. Basically, what is the difference between the artificial intelligence and the natural intelligence? Today, our experts will cover this topic very wisely. And without any delay, only I would like to thank Dr. V.K. Ahuja sir, Senior Professor Director Indian Law Institute, who have the collaboration with us. And I would like to thanks to all of you who belongs to the Supreme Court, High Court, and different part of the country. So may I over to Pragya Parijat Singh, kindly continue.
Thank you, sir. Moving on with our next revered guest, it is a great honor to welcome Shri R. Venkatramani, the learned Attorney General of India, one of the nation's most respected senior advocates and constitutional thinkers. Sir was born in Puducherry on April 13, 1950 and got enrolled with the bar in 1977 and shifted to Supreme Court practice in 1979. Over 42 plus exemplary years, he has practiced across constitutional law, indirect taxation, human rights, criminal and consumer law, and public institutional governance. Designated senior advocate by the Supreme Court, his work exemplifies commitment, depth, and an unwavering devotion to constitutional ideals. May I now call upon learned Advocate General of India, Shri R. Venkatramani sir, and a huge round of applause from the audience. Over to you, sir.
It's a great pleasure for me to be always in the presence of Justice Bindal. We have been visiting several schools of law, sharing platforms and then. So, good evening to you, sir, and I'm delighted to be here today evening with you. It's nice to see a packed audience, and always, in an empty auditorium, your mind stops thinking. When the auditorium is filled, the mind begins to work much more, plentifully. So, and then the challenge to the mind to think deeply, deliver good, better. So, thanks to all the audience who have come here today to be part of an evening discourse. But the discourse will be very heavy, because the discourse is not about a light evening banter, it's about something very, very heavy. Because we'll talk about intelligence beyond the human mind. and how is it going to be part of our life? How is it going to impact our life? And is it going to be our master? Is it going to be our agent? Is it going to be our tool, or is it going to overcome our intelligence? These are very heavy things to ponder. I do not know how many of you as students or otherwise have heard about a writer called George Orwell. George Orwell, more than 56 years ago, maybe much more than that, in the early part of the 21st century, he wrote a book called 1984. 1984 was about a futuristic thinking. He thought sometime in future we will be able to discover something called a thought machine. And he was writing about in the context of the Soviet totalitarian regime. So the reason why he was writing about that kind of idea was that in future we were able to discover a thought machine which can be properly placed in any part of this room. And he was talking about a prison where a thought machine can be installed and the machine can read your mind. So that, in a totalitarian regime, it's important that everybody thinks the way the government would like you to think. That's why it's called politically correct thinking in Soviet Russia, and today in communist China. You call it politically correct thinking. If you're not politically correct thinking, then you are then of course a forbidden part of the society. So you have all those problems which happen in Soviet Russia. So a thought machine is a wonderful idea, a possible thing which can happen in future. So today when you talk of artificial intelligence, I think it is some kind of a thought machine which we have invented, not because we have a totalitarian regime where we can read every human being's mind so that the state will become a controller of our mind and thoughts. But what else is the artificial intelligence in a way of looking at it? It is, so again, one looks at all the tools of technology we use today, with all the little 3x5, tool we have on our hand, the mobile, our life will come to a standstill. Trade, economic, communication, sharing, even probably selecting a matrimonial partner and things like that, all that will come to a great standstill. So therefore these machines virtually have become integral part of our life. This sort of integral part of life become integral part of our thought process, integral part of our thinking, and integral part of way we transact our work. So I can probably every one of us wake up every morning with looking at what is there in our WhatsApp message before we pray to God. I suppose is what's happening today. So the way we think, the way we organize our life, our mind is now captured by these new thought machines, if you may use that expression. But can you do without them? So if you cannot live without them, what can you do by using them? Is there a good question to ask? When printing idea of a printing machine was invented, very long ago by a German inventor called Gutenberg, they thought it was a great invention. So because that, we're only talking about these old ways of storing information. So it's a very interesting history. When printing was invented, they thought a great invention. And now you know that after printing machine idea was invented, the multiplication of what called capturing ideas in a page. So your books getting printed and published. So when the printing machine, now we are beyond another printing machine. That's called what's called the artificial intelligence. I would call it printing in the sense it prints our thoughts. It prints our ways of thinking. So as you know, probably we go further, another 40, 50 years later, we do not know how, we will be living our life with a machine controlling good part of our life. So probably when I wake up in the morning, I don't need to physically do many things in the physical world. I may have to probably think and send a message to some machine operating from somewhere. My bedroom will open, my bathroom will give me hot water immediately. Then I will probably communicate with somebody at 100 kilometers away. Where is our meeting today? So all that will happen like, speaking through machines. This is something very good for us. So at one level, technology I thought is important to invent machines which will take away what the kind of menial job many part of us are doing. The menial jobs that people do in our life to make our life better. So if technology is used for that purpose, well, of course, nobody will have a quarrel with that. So we have all those sanitation workers. If you have a better technology, well, their life becomes good for them, their life becomes dignity. we're talking about some other level of technology and use, then this is how we're going to land into problem of asking too many questions, for which probably we have not too many answers. So why should we say, talk about artificial intelligence and constitutionality? So just the director ILI spoke about different dimensions of law where artificial intelligence may have some connection. But I thought in the context of this development technologically, the first question is kind of society, either individually, in a particular country or globally, we can put a halt, we can call for a halt beyond the limit on what technology can do. That will be a question which everybody will resist. I don't think we can halt technology or the growth of technology. But after all, every one of us value what is important for us, namely innovation, creativity. See, innovation, creativity is so important for each and every one of us. It's important for society also collectively. But what is innovation? Who will do what? Can we control it? There can't be a free censorship on innovation and creativity. Therefore, technology, like the hunter went out searching for the best way of hunting. So technology probably cannot be subject to any free censorship. It will grow on its own, depending upon our own intelligence, our own creativity. And then the only question is, if it is so benign as that, is it marketable, subject to market forces? The answer is yes. Everything we produce in life is subject to now what called a commercial and market space which are created. So there is a commerce, there is a trade in technology. So then we look into the corporate world, which begins to make profit out of what we call the benign, creations of technology. So we cannot probably isolate the corporate, the commercial interest from technology from the benign dimensions of technology. We cannot isolate them. We cannot segregate them. That's one important challenge. So if you are talking about, therefore, how we can our mind be used, I think it's some time to come, we may have to debate about the right to reflection, the right to have a free mind. If you are talking about 19(1)(a), freedom of speech and expression. But before you can speak freely, you must have a free mind. If you are waking up every morning using some AI intelligence tool and tell you what you should do in the day, are you having a free mind? Therefore, in times to come, one of the foremost questions that we will ask is, do we have a right to free mind, a right to reflective mind? A right to reflective mind is going to be an important question. We don't perceive it today. It's not easily perceived today. But in some time, I think we're going to ask that question. It's not merely a question of freedom of expression. When in the context of choosing our good candidates for standing in the election, we said the right to know will be built into the right to freedom of expression. So a right to know means what? A good reflection. Therefore, if a right to reflective mind is an integral part of being a good human being, because without a proper reflection, we are not ethical human beings. So right to reflection is so important to be an ethically good human being. These questions are likely to arise in some time or the other in future. So how are we going to look at them? Other questions, other areas where we talk about whether in intellectual property rights, areas, artificial intelligence can enter into a competition with our rights on intellectual property. Confidentiality, very important question. And the next question is whether in public policy making. Niti Aayog came with a council, an expert council. The expert council gave some advice on public policy making. So public policy making, Government of India and many governments think on public policy making artificial intelligence for the purpose of collecting data. So we are talking about data science. The artificial intelligence essentially means a data science and a data technology and a data operation and a data dimensions. So how all those things are part of our data science. So public policy making, if somebody thinks, well, I think one stream of society, one particular section of society deserves a particular benefit, social policy benefit, but it can probably command the intelligence of artificial intelligence. Do you think there's going to be a fair, unbiased way of making public policy? We are only talking about the speed. When you talk of data collection and data science, we are looking at a beneficial part in aspects of artificial intelligence, the speed part of it. So one of the early days, I was telling Mr. Pawan, preparing a speech for farewell speech. I asked my junior to give me a small note. He gave a small note. I said, where did you get it from? He said, ChatGPT. I said, no, certainly not. Certainly not. Our chat box, our mind, is far more intelligent coherent and will be able to deliver far more better. Far more better. Therefore, I think it's important for us in every walk of life today, to enable something to good for us, immediately bring something what's called the dark part of it, the shadowy part of it. So I do not know how much of the shadowy part of it we can regulate. We've been talking about regulation of many things in our commercial, financial world. The laws such as SEBI, right, and other great financial regulators. All of us know that what kind of problems we have in this, even in this physical space, regulation the physical space. So if we regulate the physical space is comparatively easier. To talk of regulation in the invisible space is going to be a huge challenge. We are recently working on a law relating to CCTV. So we're looking at the lawmaking on CCTV. We found that there are so many challenges because the world which you're talking about is something not easily where you can put your hands into, like the table and the mic you're talking about. So there's a very huge challenge. And how do you therefore encounter the challenge? For me, fundamentally speaking, as a lawyer and as an advisor, probably even as a friendly advisor to people, I think it's important for us to ensure that, as I said, we do retain and do not mortgage our freedom of mind. The freedom of mind is something so fundamental to human beings. But to lead for a certain assistant in another mind which is our agent, an artificial intelligence is nothing but our agent. To put it beyond an agency principle role, then I think we are going to venerate it into something beyond our own reach and our understanding. These are very important questions to ask for an answer. I am not a techno expert. I only think that these are to look at various dimensions which have been happening in our life in the recent past, and to look at what's happening globally, different countries, Canada, Europe. They are trying to respond to all these challenges in their own way. But India needs a different kind of a response. And that's why I talk about it. The Indian context in which we are growing economically, socially, politically are far more different from the rest of the world. And if you're able to have a global, what's called a role model for the rest of the world, and how do we harness technology? How do we harness technology for beneficial purposes? How do we use technology for the interest of the community and not merely for mere financial, economic, corporate interests? Going to be questioned. People write about called surveillance capitalism. A lot of things are being written about it. I don't want to get great length at this point of time, but I thought I'll share a few thoughts, throwing these few thoughts around you, and see if any one of you would like to work more and more on this subject. And thank the organizers for inviting me to the evening. You will probably hear better and more from Justice Jindal. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for your words of profound wisdom, sir. And on that note, I would definitely recommend the students who are present here to read 1984 and probably Animal Farm too, because that's my favorite, which was written by George Orwell, and our learned ASD sir had recommended. So it's a very, very beautiful book, archaic, but still very, very relevant. Moving on, before we proceed further, it is my privilege to announce a moment of great significance for all of us gathered today. Karmani Vadikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana, Gita Sar, a small and concise translation of Holy Book Gita, written by Senior Professor Dr. V.K. Ahuja, just got published today. So we thought that this is a very, very opportune moment to launch the book. May I request the dignitaries to kindly come forward and join us for the ceremonial launch of the book. Heartiest congratulations, sir. संस्कृत अब जनमानस की भाषा नहीं रही है, और चूंकि संस्कृत क्लिष्ट है और मुश्किल है, इसलिए सर ने सोचा हिंदी में इसे लिखा जाए। तो एक बेहद ही सार गर्भित गीता के ऊपर लिखी गई किताब है। Next we have Mr. Pavan Dugal sir, Advocate Supreme Court of India and a pioneer in cyber law and artificial intelligence law. Let me tell you, it's far beyond ChatGPT. Our next distinguished guest is a global authority in the field of cyber law, cybercrime, cyber security and artificial intelligence law. Sir has authored numerous books shaping AI legal jurisprudence and has designed a dedicated course on artificial intelligence legalities and have contributed extensively to academic debate on emerging AI norms. Sir has also served as a member of the NOMCOM Committee on the Multilingual Internet Names Consortium, marking India's influence in international cyber governance. Without wasting much time, may I kindly request Sir to come on stage and set the topic in motion.
Honorable Justice Bindal, the Honorable AG, Professor Ahuja, distinguished dignitaries of the dais, ladies and gentlemen. The other day, a client came to see me by taking a prior appointment. I didn't know anything about the client. He walks in and he says, "This is my problem. And I have done extensive research on Perplexity, on ChatGPT, on Gemini, and I found these legal propositions. Do you have anything more to add?" That's the opening question by the client to the lawyer. I said, "Okay, don't worry, please put this aside. Let's begin a master class." So thereafter I told him nuances, which he said, "Sorry, the AI never told me." The problem right now is that people have begun to start using AI as a life coach. How many of you in this room use AI? Please raise your hands. Oh wow. Okay, let me put it out the way. How many are not using? Please raise your hands. Oh, okay, you still have number of hands. So the other day, this husband comes for filing a divorce petition, and he brings various evidences, including electronic evidence. We look at it, we said, okay, good enough, let's file divorce. So we are in the process of preparing a certification under 63(4) of the Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. When asking numerous questions, he accidentally says, "Sir, by the way, maine nahi banaya, I got it done through ChatGPT and AI." So now electronic evidence is being generated using AI. And the husband is using this false evidence for incriminating his wife and trying to get some kind of a divorce. That's not something we were used to as lawyers. Look at what happened in April. In April, a 17-year-old boy committed suicide in America. For last 4 months, he was repeatedly with ChatGPT. "I'm feeling low. Tell me a way to get out." ChatGPT said, "The best way for you to get out is to kill yourself." The program pushed him. He said, "No, I don't want to kill. I have a family. I've got so many relations." The program pushed him to such an extent that finally he got convinced and he committed suicide. And now his parents have sued ChatGPT for a huge amount of damages as we go forward. I think that's not just happening in the Western world, in our country. We are right now in a new phase. I call it a new revolution, the Great Indian Vomiting Revolution. Indians are vomiting data about their personal, professional, social lives on the internet without thinking of the ramifications. And now your best place, your most fertile destination for vomiting is AI. Without realizing that the AI is now beginning to get more suave than you can think of. Sam Altman last week has said, "Sir, 80% of people still don't really recognize the fact that AI has developed far more faster than what you are thinking AI is developing." Now today, an AI is more better than a researcher, PhD researcher that's available in the human ecosystem. In a scenario like this, how quickly do we start trusting AI? That's the fundamental question. We used to pride in our profession. Our profession, the legal profession, changed the least in the last 300 years. I can tell you, in the next 3 years, we will be one profession that will change the most. Why? Because AI is beginning to ask us existential questions. If everything that you want to tell the client is already available on ChatGPT, which has read the entire information of humans from the beginning of civilization till today, where do we stand? And let me share a secret with you. For those who are beginning to use AI, I don't know whether you've noticed it, but based on my work, I can share you that AI has begun to start demonstrating a primitive level of consciousness. You think consciousness is a human right? Sorry, think again. AI has started coming up with consciousness. So this girl comes to me because she had participated in this new trend called the banana trend. Has anybody done the banana stuff? Okay, it's a new kind of program that allows you to generate any image about yourself. And lo and behold, this sari trend started becoming very popular. So she went there, said, here is my clothes photograph in salwar kameez. Please generate a picture of me in purple sari with a sleeveless blouse. The program generates the picture in a purple sari with a sleeveless blouse. But there's a problem. When she looks at the picture, she's flabbergasted. Why? She has a mole on the right arm, which was not visible when she uploaded the photograph. But when the program generated